This is the brief on the hidden origins of Halloween. So here's the thing you might not know. The symbols we associate with Halloween today, jack-o'-lanterns, trick-or-treating, they were actually forged in the absolutely unimaginable trauma of the Irish Great Hunger back in the 1840s. First, the sources show this wasn't just a random crop failure, okay? It was systemic. Because of British laws, Catholic Irish tenants couldn't own land. They were forced to pay these super high rents called rack rent, often to landlords who didn't even live there. They had to grow cash crops for export, leaving them completely dependent on basically one single food source, the lumper potato. And since it was all genetically the same, when the blight fungus arrived in 1845, it just devastated their only way to survive. Second, and this part is truly horrific, the crisis was pretty quickly turned into a man-made atrocity. Think about this. In 1847, they called it Black 47, 1 million people starved to death. Yet, in that same year, nearly 4,000 ships sailed from Ireland to England, exporting huge amounts of food, oxen, pigs, barley. British relief policy pushed by Sir Charles Trevelyan was guided by this hands-off economic idea and this belief that the famine was kind of like a punishment meant to cure the Irish. The main help offered? These deliberately miserable workhouses where families were torn apart or having to convert to Protestantism just to get a bowl of soup.
And finally, the survivors. The ones who fled on those overcrowded ships they called coffin ships. They brought their culture, including the ancient Celtic festival of Samhain, over to North America. The tradition of carving a scary face into a turnip, that was the original jack-o'-lantern. Well, that got transformed when they found the bigger American pumpkin. And crucially, the Samhain custom of guising, which meant going door to door asking for food, that evolved into our modern trick-or-treating, a playful echo of desperate begging for survival. Modern Halloween is essentially cultural scar tissue, turning the horrifying reality of starvation and death into the costumes and rituals we celebrate today.